Today, I'm going to tell you a story about how I was on stage singing with my favorite band. So, if you know me, I've got my 3 absolute favorite bands, okay? And that's Panic at the Disco, BTS, and my number 1 is PENTATONIX. I am completely obsessed. You guys have no idea how obsessed I am with PENTATONIX. All 3 of them actually, but PENTATONIX, like I'm not even kidding, okay? I'll admit it, we're crazy. I'm so excited to tell you guys this story. But, so, about 2 years ago, me and my mom went to one of their concerts, and I became a Patreon that year. So it's one of those things where it's like I pay a couple dollars and I get a bunch of exclusive stuff and updates and everything cool like that, and a bunch of other little perks. And one of them was that we got to buy the VIP passes before everyone else so that they didn't sell out when we wanted to get them. And so me and my mom were like, let's get them. And so we got the VIP meet and greet passes, and I remember we had to show up like hours before, and I don't remember the exact time, but I think if I'm right, it was like 1 or 2-ish. Like I remember eating and then going there. And so we're like waiting in line to like get into the venue, because you had to like go to the actual venue and then they take you backstage and downstairs and then more backstage and understage, and because this was in Vegas and it was huge. And so we were waiting there, and they like gave us the rundown, and they were like, okay guys, so this is what's gonna happen. Like you're gonna have about like 5 to 10 seconds with them for the picture, and you're gonna like give them all the props if you have props, and you're gonna tell them what to do. You're gonna take the picture, and then next person. And then later is when the actual meet and greet is, and that's when you can like, you get their autograph and like you can talk to them and stuff like that. And so I remember being around the corner, and they were like right here, there was a curtain, and they were like standing there, and I was around the corner. My mom's coming in. My mom's crazy. That's my mama. And so we were like, oh no, they were here. This was like the curtain thing, and we were around the corner here-ish. And I remember the person in front of me went, and the security guard like held their hand out for me to stop, and the person in front of me went, and you just see them go and you hear PENTATONIX go, hi! And I was like, they're right there. It's real. This is real. This is real. And I instantly just bust into tears. I was like, they're right there. I literally, this was my face. I was like, but I was crying. And so then my mom's gonna come back from getting the mail and think I'm crazy. How much you want to bet? Let's film her. I'm just kidding. I can't. I'm telling my channel about the time we met PENTATONIX.
Oh.
Do you have anything to say about it? And it's also about how I got called on stage to sing with them.
It was pretty awesome. I knew I knew that they were gonna come down into the audience because I had stalked their page, but somebody here didn't want to know anything about the concert. So when they brought out the beanbags and I saw them come down off the stage, I was like, oh, and I started recording. And then Scott walks by and says hi to you, and then he walks past, and then he turns around and comes back, and I have it all on video. It was pretty epic that I got it on video.
And and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't have any props. I don't have anything. I was like, okay. And so we turned the corner, and again, I'm crying, like hysterical. And I just turned the corner, and Scott sees me crying. They all go, hi, but Scott was like, oh, come here. And I was like, yeah. And so so Scott gives me a big hug, and he was like, so what are we gonna do? And I was like, just do whatever you want. I was like, I don't know, you guys are beautiful humans. I'm jealous of everything you do, and I just do whatever. I'll be happy with anything. That's literally what was going through my head is I'm like, I'm meeting them. They can do anything they want. Like, I can make them do anything they want. Do anything. And so they were like, oh, okay. And here's what happened. So then I was like, I bet that was beautiful. And then they were like, okay, bye. And I turned the corner and I was like hyperventilating and I was red and I was like, I was like, that just happened. And so then it was like 20 minutes later, we get to our point in the actual meet and greet part. We meet them, and that can be a different story, and so we're at the concert, okay? I was against the barrier that separated us from the stage. And I was like, this is crazy, this is nuts. Because since we were VIPs and we got there so early, we literally got right there. And I was in like corner of the stage because it was like the normal stage and then it came out a little bit. And I was in the corner of it, like the best spot you could be. And because it was literally the closest, because it was toward the middle and it was toward, it was the best. It was the best. And so they start pulling the beanbags out from under the stage, because something they do is during the song Misbehavin', they used to do this, by the way, I don't know if they still do it, but they pull out these beanbags and each of the members picks someone and they pull them up on stage and they sing with the band for a whole song. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, if I don't get picked, I'll like freak out. But at the same time, I was like, but I don't want to get my hopes up. So I was like, but I'm not going to be picked. There's like a kabillion people here. Why would they pick me? And so like, I'm standing there. And so they come off stage and now they're on the floor in between the stage and the barrier. And I'm on the other side of the barrier. And so it's like where you stick out your hand and you can touch the singer. That's where they were. It was right there. And Scott walks by me and it was one of those things where he was like high-fiving everyone and I was like, and I freaked out and I was like, did that just happen? And then it happened. So he walks by me and someone in the band goes, who wants to come up on stage? I freak out. And they start walking past me. Scott walks right past me. Literally, he gets to like the person next to me, pivots around, comes straight back to me, and he grabs my hand and he goes, do you want to go on stage? I was like, yeah, I want to go on stage. I want to sing with you on stage in front of tens of thousands. Yeah, me. And he was like, okay, and slid this bracelet from his wrist over to my wrist. And it was a cute little blue one because that's his color. And it said Scott on it. And I was like, oh, and he's like, this is so-and-so. And it was one of their crew members. And he goes, follow her and she'll take you backstage. And all I'm thinking is I will follow her everywhere. Anywhere you tell me, anywhere she tells me to go, I will go. And I was the first one out of the 5 that got picked to be on stage, and I was like they were still setting up beanbags, and I was like, hi everyone. I was sitting in between Scott. I was on a yellow beanbag. I was in between Scott and one of the other people that was picked by one of the members. And I just remember like I was in the back row so I could see the rest of the members that were in the front, and I was like, this is it. This is the best day of my life. Like, there's going to be literally maybe one other day that would compare to this. PENTATONIX followed me because I'm a patron, and then I got called on, and it was and it was seriously just the best day ever. It was the best night. So I go back, and everyone around me and my mom were like, oh my gosh. I was like, oh. I was like crying afterward. I was like, yeah, that was me, I was on there, and oh my gosh, and it's, oh my gosh. So seriously, I'm not even kidding when I'm saying that was the best day of my life. You better understand that that was literally the best day of my life. And I'm never gonna forget it. And I'm glad my mom was there with me, and I'm glad I met all the people that were with us there. And I can't. If I run into a better day than that, you guys will be hearing about it. And so yeah, that was the time of when I got called on stage to sing with my favorite band. I hope you liked today's video, and tune in next week for CarTalk with Maddi, Storytime Fridays. Bye!
No place I'd rather be. No place I'd rather be. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be.